In the heart of Russia, amidst the backstreets of Moscow, the mind of Alexander Pichushkin harbored a chilling darkness. His story is not just that of a serial killer, but a testament to how complex and terrifying the human psyche can be. Known as the Chessboard Killer, Pichushkin planned his murders as meticulously as filling the squares of a chessboard. In this video, we'll dive deep into his life, starting from his childhood, exploring his horrifying crimes, and ending with his arrest and trial. This is not just the story of a killer, it's an exploration of how a person can descend into such a dark path. Ready? Let's uncover this cold and spine-chilling tale together. Pichushkin's life story may seem ordinary at first glance. He was born on April 9, 1974, in Moscow, into a working-class family struggling with economic difficulties. His father abandoned the family when Alexander was just 5 years old, leaving his mother Natalia to raise him alone. This separation had a profound psychological impact on Alexander, but the turning point in his life came when he was 4 years old. During a game, a metal swing struck his head with great force. This injury to his frontal lobe caused significant brain damage, impairing his empathy and his ability to control his impulses. Traumatic brain injuries like this are often linked to personality changes. After the accident, Alexander became an increasingly withdrawn child. Yet his intelligence stood out. He excelled in mathematics and chess, which became his mental escape. But this game would later become the most horrifying symbol of his life. During his school years, he was different. Other children bullied and ostracized him, further isolating him. This loneliness planted the first seeds of the anger and desire for revenge that would later define his life. It was during this time that he began harming animals. Rumors circulated about him capturing and killing cats and dogs, a behavior often seen in the early lives of serial killers. Alexander Pichushkin's surge to kill first surfaced in 1992. This was a turning point in his life. His first victim was his former classmate, Mikhail Odichik. The two had reconnected after years apart. Alexander invited Mikhail to Moscow's Bitsa Park. Initially, Mikhail was hesitant to accept, but Alexander insisted. While the two friends strolled through the park, Alexander's demeanor shifted suddenly. In his mind, Mikhail had betrayed him, though this was entirely a fabrication of Alexander's twisted thoughts. After killing Mikhail, Alexander was initially consumed by fear. However, this fear gradually turned into a strange sense of satisfaction. Pichushkin's killing spree truly began in 2001. Bitsa Park became his hunting ground. Initially, his targets were often marginalized individuals, lonely people, or those struggling with alcoholism. Alexander would typically approach his victims with a bottle of vodka, offering them a friendly chat before attacking. He would use a hammer to repeatedly strike his victims' heads, killing them. Afterward, he would discard their bodies in the park's remote corners or down manhole covers. For each victim, Alexander marked a square on his chessboard. To him, this was more than just a game. As the number of victims grew, his sense of satisfaction dwindled, and he craved more. Alexander was now living solely to kill. There was a ritualistic element to Pichushkin's murders. For example, the murder of Alexei Sergeyev in 2005 vividly showcases his cold-blooded nature. He lured Alexei to the park with the promise of sharing vodka. Once Alexei was drunk and vulnerable, Alexander struck. Using a hammer, he delivered repeated blows to Alexei's head, but Pichushkin didn't stop there. After killing him, he forced a vodka bottle into Alexei's skull and disposed of the body in a sewer. This grotesque act wasn't just about killing, it was about asserting complete control over his victims. For Alexander, each murder became a dark masterpiece. Alexander Pichushkin's killing spree ended in 2006, thanks to a small but crucial detail left behind by one of his victims. Marina Mosklyova, one of his last victims, had left a note with her son before meeting Alexander. The note contained his phone number. After Marina went missing, the police found the note and traced it back to Pichushkin. During questioning, he confessed to his crimes. A search of his apartment revealed a chessboard with 61 marked squares, which he proudly displayed as a challenge to the authorities. During his trial, Pichushkin spoke about his crimes with pride, showing no remorse. In court, he coldly declared, "For me, killing a person was as ordinary as having a snack." These chilling words left the courtroom in shock. In 2007, Alexander Pichushkin was sentenced to life in prison. He is currently held in one of Russia's most secure facilities. Alexander Pichushkin was not just a serial killer. He was a reflection of the dark impulses that can lurk within the human mind. The chessboard he sought to fill was not just a game plan, it symbolized his quest for meaning in a world he felt alienated from. Tragically, this quest came at the expense of many innocent lives. This story serves as a stark reminder that such darkness can emerge when the vulnerabilities of society are exploited. What do you think? Is such evil born, or is it shaped by life's experiences? Share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, take care.